Sorry that I'm indoors, it's raining outside, so here I am. But I just wanted to make a quick video reminding everyone of a lesson that seems to have been forgotten to history. And that lesson is this: do not apologise to your political opponents. It achieves absolutely nothing. It humiliates you amongst your allies, and it opens you up to even more criticism and attack from the people who hate you. Now, why do I say this? Well, I say it because I'm seeing a trend of people on the right, whether it's journalists or politicians, always feeling like they have to apologise. Apologise, apologise, apologise. And it's really counterproductive. We've got to get a grip of these people. We've got to get people to stop apologising, stop giving in to the left's narratives. Now, the most recent example of this came from Sarah Palin. She went on to Talk TV and she said some apparently controversial things about the overrepresentation of ethnic minorities in various UK TV commercials. I'll play the clip and I'll play it in full because I want you to see that this really isn't that controversial, and I imagine a lot of people agree with her. Have a look.
A bit left field, this one, but I think it's creepingly important. Would Reform do anything to look at the representation of the demographics of TV and public advertising? Because we're getting to the point now where adverts don't represent what this country looks like, and actually positive demonisation of white people, just portrayed as criminals or inadequate when they're not portrayed anywhere else. Now, the reason why this is important, we got a case of art imitates life, because we're getting to the point where a number of my friends think that we're being discriminated like in employment markets because white men are seen as useless and whatever and just invisible. And there's one financial institution which coincidentally uses a strikingly similar image of Nigel in their advertising for an incompetent, useless, arrogant white male. I just wondered if that's something Reform would look into.
Okay, Stuart, stay where you are. Sarah, what do you think of what Stuart's saying? What would Reform UK do about it, if anything?
I think Stuart's absolutely right. Drives me mad when I see adverts full of black people, full of Asian people, full of, people that basically are anything.
What's wrong with that, Sarah? What's wrong with that?
Well, it doesn't reflect our society, and I feel that your average white person, average white family is, like, I agree with you, Stuart, not represented.
So she's responding to a caller who is complaining about an overrepresentation of ethnic minorities in UK TV commercials. Whatever. Is that a legitimate concern, by the way? Yes, it is. According to a recent study, over half of TV adverts in Britain featured a black person, despite them only making up, according to the 2021 census, about 4.5%. So they're overrepresented by a factor of 10. I mean, that is kind of strange. And Sarah Palin just said, I'm kind of sick of seeing this. It's ridiculous. It doesn't reflect our society accurately. Now, you'd think that would be the end of it, right? Because it's really not that controversial. But a few people didn't like what Sarah said. They said, oh, you can't say that. You can't say that. And clearly that got into Sarah's head. And she thought, oh, no, I can't say that. So she came out with a grovelling apology. And here's what she said. My comments on a Talk TV phone-in earlier today were phrased poorly, and I unreservedly apologise for any offence caused, which was not my intention. Just stop. You're apologising to people who are claiming that they're offended. I guarantee they're not. Nobody cares about what you said. Nobody on the right cares about what you said because they all know that what you said is fundamentally true and they share those same concerns. The people who are screaming about it on X also do not care. They're not attacking you in good faith. They're not disgusted by your words. They are simply attacking you because you're a right-wing politician. It's not a good faith attack, so do not give in to it. What do you think was Sarah's reward for her apology? Did people forgive her? Did they move on? Did they say, hey, no bother? No, it was an absolute pile-on of criticism, condemnation, and comments about how awful and disgusting Sarah Palin is. And within 1 hour of her writing that apology, the Labour Party had put out a video maliciously edited down what she said to make her look as bad as possible. Have a look at this.
Drives me mad when I see adverts full of black people, full of Asian people, full of, people that basically are anything.
What's wrong with that, Sarah?
And that is what we're up against on the right of politics. A politics of division and grievance.
Clearly, this is a very uncharitable editing down of what she said. I suspect maliciously. It's done to make her look as bad as humanly possible. And just remember, this was done after she apologised. Now, do you think they've let up since then? No, of course not. This morning, Wes Streeting was going on again about how terrible and racist Sarah Poachin is.
She's only sorry that she's been caught and called out, and she said the quiet bit loud. I think what she said was a disgrace. I think it was racist, and the deafening silence from her party leader says it all.
The problem that you have now is you've already apologised. You've already implied that you're guilty in some way. You've written a blank cheque of guilt. You haven't even really said what you're guilty of. You've just left that open to interpretation. So now your political opponents, in particular the Labour Party, are using that blank cheque and they're going to write in whatever they want Sarah Poachin to be guilty of. You did that. You gave them that weapon. But in reality, you're guilty of absolutely nothing. And you should not have apologised. Now, it's all well and good to say, oh, well, you know, if you shouldn't apologise, then what should you do? I think if you end up in one of these situations, you've kind of got two choices. You can either stay silent, right? Or you can just go harder. And in this particular case with Sarah, you should have gone harder. You should have gone, actually, I meant what I said. I meant what I said, and here are the statistics. Here is the fact that ethnic minorities are overrepresented in UK TV adverts by a factor of 10. And I think that's wrong. And you know what else is wrong? Pregnant women are underrepresented. They're only in 0.1% of TV adverts. Why is that? Why can't we be proud of pregnant women? Why, when we have a birth rate of 1.4 or whatever it is, aren't we promoting that being pregnant is a good thing? Go back on the attack. Point out their double standards, and soon you will find that they quickly all fall away and they don't say anything anymore. But it's too late. You've apologised. You've said I'm guilty. Speaking of double standards, let's have a look at that speech that Anna Sarwar gave a couple of years ago about how everyone in Scotland was just too white.
Every chief executive of every council and every government department, white. Every director of a department in Scotland, white. Every principal of a college or university in Scotland, white. Every head teacher in Scotland, white.
Do you think that Anna Sarwar is going to apologise for making that speech? No, not a chance. He's allowed to talk about the overrepresentation of white people in a majority of white country, but as soon as Sarah Poachin talks about an overrepresentation in adverts of ethnic minorities, that's somehow totally unacceptable and she must apologise and she's deeply racist. But I'm going to put a video in here and I'm going to show you what you all know and understand already, that it's true. We all see that ethnic minorities are vastly overrepresented in adverts. It's actually kind of weird. It's whenever there's a man and a woman or a couple or whatever it might be, it's always an interracial couple, pretty much, right? It's kind of strange. And we never see pregnant women in adverts. Like I said, we have a declining birth rate. Let's start celebrating motherhood. Surely that makes sense. Very, very, very strange. In fact, pretty much the only time I ever see white guys in any kind of advertising or posters, it's usually when they're being portrayed as criminals. Like you see all these posters on the tube and it's like a white guy with a briefcase or whatever, and he's leering over someone. And the someone that he's leering over or being creepy towards is usually an ethnic minority. And it's so weird. That's not the lived experience of the vast majority of people in London. It is not. You know, white guys well dressed in suits, tuxedos, bowler hats and briefcases who are being creepy to women on the tube. Okay, it's just not, fundamentally. So why aren't we allowed to ask these questions? Why do we have to give in to this weird, liberal, white guilt phenomena where we have to apologise for ourselves all the time, whilst at the same time the media is constantly attacking us as if we're the criminals and the scourge of society? I'm sick of it. Not only am I sick of it, the vast majority of people in this country are sick of it. It needs to stop. And so what Sarah Poachin said in the first place was completely correct, and she should have just stuck with it. Let me just finish with this. I'm not saying you shouldn't ever apologise. I'm not saying you shouldn't apologise to friends or family, or even to someone who is genuinely offended and speaking to you in good faith, right? Of course, in those situations, if you're sorry, feel free to apologise. What I'm saying is, these are not good faith actors. They are not sad or upset or offended by what you've said. They are delighted that you have said it. They look up to the stars with their hands pressed like this and they say, thank God my opponent has given me such an easy line to attack them. This is the best day ever. You're apologising to people who relish that you have given them this opportunity. They don't care what you said, only insofar as it gives them a means and a motive to try and destroy you. Stop apologising. Stop letting it happen, okay? It just doesn't achieve anything. Anyway, this is a silver dollar, by the way, silver dollar. It was given to me as a gift. Quite cool, isn't it? And I've been thinking about America recently. It's got liberty written on it. Look, I've been thinking about America recently. as my country sort of collapses and even our right-wing, super-based politicians just keep apologising to the woke left mob, I've been thinking about America. I like America. It's not perfect. It's not a perfect country. But maybe I should just move to California, go and live in Gavin Newsom's paradise or something. I don't know. I'm sort of rambling now. I do this towards the end of videos. Look, I'll spare you all the bother. I will leave it there. Thank you very much for watching. And remember, don't apologise unless it's to your friends and family. Right, thank you very much. Please do leave a like, comment, subscribe. Again, sorry that it's indoors, raining outside, not good weather. This will happen from time to time. Thank you for watching. Please do leave a like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you in a future video.